Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over the latest Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer. This is the official trailer number 3, and probably the final trailer that we are going to have for Tears of the Kingdom before the release date. So I'm really excited to go over this. I'm really excited that, Tears of the Kingdom's coming in less than a month now. This is really exciting. The first three shots are just like Sky Islands and Hyrule and stuff, and the new enemies like constructs and stuff just around Hyrule. That's really all the first three shots are. Now the fourth shot, we're gonna see stuff we already seen, but it's gonna be stuff I do want to point out still. Also, I won't be going as in detail as my official trailer number 2 analysis. I went over like really like heavy detail about every little detail. Like I went over everything about the world. I'm gonna do that less now since it's the same world we're going over, and also that took me a long time to do, just to go over every little detail in the world. So I'm gonna do that. I'm more about the major things in this analysis. But okay, so the thing I want to point out in the fourth shot, we see a lot of like these zonai symbols, like these green energy, like zonai symbols. I don't know if they're zonai symbols, but like they're symbols on the surface of Hyrule. Now I know that we've seen this in the official trailer number 2 as well. But I just want to go over it again because I think it is a pretty important detail how it's marking a big area of the map. Here it's just Link running through Hyrule Field. Here we see the first major thing, which is like Hateno Village, but we can see some differences about it. Now we see the similar stuff with Latino Village, the same shops, pretty much the same people. We see Mount Lanayru in the distance, all that. But then we also see these new structures that have these symbols on it that look to be a lot like mushrooms or something like that. I don't know if they are mushrooms, but they certainly look like mushrooms. So, yeah, I think that other people have been saying this as well. They look kind of like mushrooms on the uh, the structure that's there. I don't know if they are mushrooms. They could be, they could not be. But they are something that I do want to point out since they are a thing that wasn't in Atina Village. So I want to go over that. Now here we see Hyrule Castle Town finally getting some care now. They're kind of rebuilding it slowly. They have just some camps right now, just some camps that they've built. But that's that's good progress and stuff. So they have some tents set up, and that means they are trying to rebuild Hyrule Castle Town, and that's big because Hyrule Castle Town got destroyed 100 years ago by Calamity Ganon, since Hyrule was conquered by Ganon and stuff like that, and now they're kind of rebuilding that. But we all know that Hyrule will be put back into chaos once again. That once everyone, just as everyone thinks everything's all fine, that Calamity Ganon's dead, everything like that, we know that Hyrule's gonna get put in that chaos again, even though everyone thinks it's all safe. But okay, and in the next shot we see Kakariko Village. You can see at like the lower right of the screen. You can see it's Kakariko Village. But then we also see a green spiral, a green slash blue spiral, which we've seen in other trailers. Um, but it's in the same spot where the shrine for Kakariko Village used to be. Now this could, and we even see the stump where the shrine was in Kakariko Village. We even see that the stump of that shrine, of where it used to be. So I think these green spirals could possibly be, maybe, like could be like just shrines transformed or replaced. Because I know I went over the green spirals a lot in my official trailer number 2 analysis. And so yeah, I think this could be, and like all the spots we've seen these green spirals in, they make sense. Like we've seen them in multiple spots, and they are like in the place of shrines and stuff. So I think that could definitely be like the shrines transformed. We also see a rock in like a spiral shaped form, which is kind of like the Tears of the Kingdom logo, that green like Zonai logo that we see for Tears of the Kingdom. So I don't know if it's related to that, but it just represents that. So I just want to over that. Now here we see Typhlo Ruins, which is significant because it's built by the Zonai, and this game is pretty heavily based on the Zonai. We see a lot of Zonai stuff here, so to see Typhlo Ruins, that's more Zonai stuff. Maybe we'll find out why it's built, more about Typhlo Ruins and all that. We know this is Typhlo Ruins. We know this is Typhlo Ruins because we see that red rock, that Elden rock from the Elden region. Yeah, we also see this like big storm just in the air. I don't know what I don't. We've seen this in the official trailer number 2 as well, and I didn't really think too much about it. But now that we've seen it kind of more, maybe possibly we'll have to go in there or something, or maybe it might be connected to like a quest or something. That's definitely a possibility. Now here we see something rising out of the ground. Some it could be like a dungeon. Maybe this is in Gerudo Desert, by the way. Yeah, it could be like a dungeon or some other like significant place. Now here we see Hyrule Castle, and we see like the Sky Rocks and Hyrule Castle. Just they're just there, and Sky Rocks can and they you can you can also get up to the surface with the Sky Rocks as well. Just so you know. But also, we also see the people kind of just checking out everything that's going on since now that everything was safe since Calamity Ganon was dead and all that, people were kind of moving in closer to Hyrule Castle. There's more settlements, and now everyone's there, and Ganondorf is ready to just crush them. And yeah, they're just watching all those sky rocks just falling down, all the chaos at Hyrule Castle, and so I'm sure people are getting a little bit worried about that. Just being like, why did I even move back? Or yeah, so I'm sure that was causing some worries. Now here, this gets really exciting. So we see blood moon, which just shows like it's really a massive blood moon showing that Ganon's power is rising, or Ganondorf's power is rising, and we also see a figure with red long hair. This probably is Ganondorf, since we've seen him in other trailers with long hair, like in the first trailer, and second trailer, and all the other trailers, pretty much. We've seen Ganondorf with long hair, but later in the trailer, we'll see him with like shorter hair or something, or it looks like shorter hair. So I don't know if like this is like I don't know if he like cuts his hair like Zelda or something. I don't know, but if he does cut his hair, if this isn't Ganondorf, then the only other person this could be is Demise. Does it make sense? Since like the connections to this game with Skyward Sword, there's a lot of connections. So like it could be Demise, especially since Ganondorf is the curse of Demise. So it would make sense, especially since like this is the end of Ganondorf or something. This is probably like gonna be the finale Zelda game. Like it would make sense for like an epic finale with Demise or something. But we never get to see his face since it switches to this scene, which we've actually already seen this scene before, in other trailers. But we're gonna get a little more detail. There's one important detail that we're gonna see at the end of this shot that I've slowed down here. So the important thing is to look at like where her pouch is or something, and we're gonna see this like golden glowing light coming from there. You just want to remember that there is gonna be some glowing light because we're gonna need that for the next trailer after that. So just remember that glowing light, because we're gonna need to know that a little bit later in the trailer. Now, as you can see, yeah, if you're looking now at her pouch, like to the left, her left like waist, you're gonna see a glow. That glow, remember that glow because we're gonna talk a little bit more about that further into the video. Remember that glow that she has like on her left side, like on the left of her waist. That you wanna remember that golden glow. But now it switches over to this shot, and we see like sand with like there's a bunch of holes in the Gerudo Desert for some reason. I don't know what this is. If they're like a bunch of Moldugas burrowing or something, or if they're like quicksand. That would definitely be cool with like quicksand and stuff. That'd be a interesting detail to add in, especially since we've seen a lot of like Hyrule Field and stuff changed and stuff. We haven't really seen like stuff like Gerudo uh, desert really change. So that would be cool. Now here, I think that this is underground. I think this is like the underground area confirmed. Because I don't recognize this area from Breath of the Wild. I do not recognize it. Uh, I could just be like just really bad at remembering places. I don't know. I don't think so. I do not remember this place on the surface. This could be a sky island, but I doubt it. I think this is underground, and I think this is like under like Death Mountain or something. I think this is like this is like a dungeon that we're gonna have to do, and this is really exciting since they're bringing back the old Zelda game formula, but they're still combining it with that open world. I think that's really good because it brings back the old and the new. So like both of the things that we like. So that's really I think that's really great that they're gonna hopefully bring back dungeons and stuff. Now here we see this we're in like Link is in some kind of blizzard storm type of place, and there's a bunch of ships like flying ships and stuff, and we see one ship approaching Link. Maybe Link will have to board this ship, and maybe this will be like another dungeon or something, possibly. Um, but yeah, that kind of gives me like sand ship vibes from Skyward Sword. That kind of reminds me of the sand ship, and stuff like that. And maybe this is like the cutscene of Link boarding the ship, and maybe you'll have to escape, just like Tantalus or something. Like when Tantalus attacked the sand ship stuff. Maybe it'll have to be like that, something like that. But okay, here we see Link swimming in a water bubble, which seems to be above the surface, so it's like a sky island or something. But it seems to be like disconnected from the sky islands. You don't see like any of those golden trees or anything like that. It seems to be like its own separate area, and we just see that green Zonai energy uh coming from here. So Link is like swimming inside. Like this is the first time you see Link like below the point where he can breathe. Like he's completely immersed in water. We've never seen that really happen with him, and I think that's really big because I know this is not underwater exploration, but it's a start for sure. Just being in the water bubble and his head being underwater, his full body being immersed. That I think is a big deal. I think, but yeah, now we see Link going and he's dodging all these lasers here. Now, later in the trailer, I'm gonna give my theory about where I think this is. But for now, I'm just gonna, kind of analyze this one shot right now without saying too much. Well, Link is just like kind of dodging lasers. He's like skydiving, but then he's like has to dodge lasers at the same time. So he just has to get through that. It's probably leading to like maybe going into a dungeon or maybe going into a boss arena, possibly. It's kind of unclear, but it's definitely leading to somewhere significant for sure. Uh, so yeah, that's probably what happens. And later in this shot, we're gonna see some other stuff happen. So it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see Link like actually like have a new way to glide. So I'm gonna go over that really quickly. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, he grows literal like wings, kind of like wings. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. He grows like kind of like wings. It's like it's not it's not wings, but like he's like extending something that's making him glide, but it's not the paraglider either. It's like maybe he got it from like the Rito or something. I'm sure maybe they like thanked him with that or something, but that was really cool gliding through the lasers and stuff. Here we just see Link pushing something that will manipulate the structure that he's in. We've seen this actually before in Breath of the Wild, so that's not that new. Here, though, I think this is the labyrinth. So I've explored labyrinths a lot in Breath of the Wild. I think this is one of the labyrinths, and these are important because once again these are Zonai built structures, and the game there's going to be a lot about the Zonai, so this is big. That we'll probably get to go back into the labyrinths as we see right here. Maybe learn a little bit more about the labyrinths, like why they were made. Maybe a little more like info about this, just like kind of like with Typhlo ruins, all that. Um, Now next we see Link with like one of these Zonai spear, like a new weapon. It's like this Zonai spear that he's using, and this is Fort Hatino that Link is at, and this is big because uh this is the same place where Link almost died 100 years ago. This was the same place where he almost died, and then he was taken to the Shrine of Resurrection after that. So this is big. Maybe this will like trigger some memories for Link or something. I don't know. This would be cool if this was like related to the lore or something, or maybe it's just a bunch of bokoblins attacking NPCs and you just gotta kill them and they'll give you food or something. I don't know. I think it would be really cool if it was connected to the lore or something, or some sort of quest, like for like a second battle of Fort Hatino or something. That would be really cool to see. Um, but I think that's really cool. Also, I already mentioned this, but I think it's great that they're adding new weapons and stuff like that. We got this like looks like a Zonai spear or something. Yeah, so it looks like yeah, that's pretty much it for this scene. We see bokoblins and moblins fighting, and we see Link and some Hylians, teaming up to fight these enemies. Uh, but yeah, and so the next scene we see a Sheikah lift, and this is big because we haven't really seen much. We've seen a lot of like the Zonai and stuff, but we haven't really seen as much with the Sheikah. And so now we see that familiar blue glow, and that's just nice to see now with the Sheikah again. That then I mean we probably knew they weren't out of the picture, but that's just good to see Sheikah stuff again. Now this I'm pretty sure we've never seen this species before, or if we have, then I apologize. I think that this is possibly one of the lost Zonai people. This could be one of the someone from the Zonai tribe. I know they like all died out or something, but I think it's possible that they didn't. I think maybe they could have survived. I don't know. Anything could happen in the Zelda timeline. The lore is mind blowing, so there could be anything. Anything could happen here. I think maybe the Zonai didn't die, and maybe they were secretly hiding, and this is possibly one of them. I think that's definitely the case, or maybe they're not. Maybe it's just another. species or something like that. The other shot we just saw was Link and Epona just riding together. Now here we see a Zonai Golem just coming out of the wall, which is pretty cool just to see that. Another Zonai powered uh, enemy. I guess we'll have to fight or something like that. Now here we see Link in the Sanctum area, which is the same area where you fight the Blight Ganons. This area we see Link in the Sanctum, and we see like this golden light just there. So this light is usually shown in Breath of the Wild. At least it's shown when like the champions are teleporting Link outside of the Divine Beast, or like when Zelda teleports Link out of Hyrule Castle after he kills Calamity Ganon and he has to go fight Dark Beast Ganon. That's really the only time we see these similar like golden like glows. But now maybe this could be like the champions, maybe like just teleporting there, or the descendants of the champions, something like that. That would be that's possible, or maybe it's someone else we don't know. We'll see. So here we see Zelda. She's in a different outfit, which means that she must have survived that fall that she had earlier with Link and stuff, or maybe this could be before, but most likely that this she probably survived. And I'm gonna explain how she survived later in the trailer, but she probably survived, and now she's meeting someone right here, and this person is basically saying, "We're relying on Link and the Master Sword." Like I know you can't hear the audio, so what the dialogue here is that the person that Zelda is meeting with is saying, uh, we're relying on Link and the Master Sword. That like they're the only hope, basically. And then Zelda's like, okay. So that's really all it is for this. But then we get a better look at who is talking to Zelda here. So we see their clothing. It's like that same. It's like it seems to be connected to Zonai somehow, and I think this could be another one of the Zonai tribe, or it could be the same person we saw earlier, one of the earlier shots. It could be that same person, that same Zonai person that we saw. So this could be the same person or maybe a different person, but looks like I think Zelda is meeting with one of the Zonai. Now this next scene is just Link kind of gliding over Hyrule. That scene we just saw, Link just attached a royal shield to his royal claymore, and he's just parrying it because he can fuse whatever he wants to other things. So now you never have to worry about equipping your shield. You just equip it to the weapon, you parry, and then you can hit with the same weapon. That's just such a cool idea. I know we could already do that. I know that's not new, but it's just nice to see the creativity being used. Okay, now here, this dome-shaped thing we've seen in official trailer too, but I'm gonna make a theory about this. So remember the lasers that I was like I'm gonna explain where this is later in the video. Now I'm gonna explain. So those lasers we saw, I think we have to drop into that hole in that like dome in this dome-shaped thing that looks like the Death Star. I think we have to drop in there, and I think that's where the lasers are. We're gonna have to go through there, and then I think it'll lead to like the dungeon, I guess, inside this dome. I think this thing is a dungeon, and we have to go through those lasers either first, to get to the dungeon, or maybe after the dungeon to get to the boss, or something like that. Or I could be completely wrong. Once again, it's pure speculation. You might have a different interpretation of this, but I think that the lasers are probably gonna be in this thing that looks like the Death Star. Um, but yeah, we have seen this in official trailer too, by the way. So this like structure isn't like a new thing. This like Skyland isn't new at all. But yeah, now we see Link is taking on one of the Gorons. Hold on, we're gonna get there. Okay, so he's gonna fight one of the Gorons here. Now we don't know if this is like just Gorons being hostile or if this is just like a test. Like we know like in Twilight Princess, remember when like Link had to wrestle one of the Gorons in Zelda Twilight Princess? Like it could be like a trial or something, or maybe there's some miscommunication between Link and the Gorons, and maybe they're fighting or something like that. Here we see once again it's in this blizzardy area, and we actually see Death Mountain in like the top left corner. I just noticed that. We see Death Mountain in the top left corner, even with all the blizzard and stuff here. And then we also see Link and Tulin just flying together, and we're gonna see more of Link and Tulin just flying together, which means that it'll probably be a quest with Link and Tulin. But yeah, Tulin is Tiba's son, by the way. But yeah, looks like Tulin will be taking Tiba's place. Looks like for this game. So now we also see like a fused like looks like wagon that Link is pulling, I guess, to escort people. And now here we see all of your Octorok problems solved. We just see Link like using the rewind ability on the Octorok and just destroying it. So whenever you're annoyed with Octoroks, it's all solved. Just rewind the rocks and then you've killed the Octorok. That's it. And that's just really nice. So now we see Link with a like rocket, which he possibly is could have been crafted. I don't know if he fused it or not, but he's using a rocket and he's gonna go scale this Bokoblin camp over here. And yeah, this is I think that was Eventide Island. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this location is definitely Eventide Island that we're on. Now here we actually see the gravity really come into use. Here we see that Link is like moon jumping or like space jumping or something. Yeah, the gravity is super low there, and that's kind of realistic because like the higher you go up, like the gravity will get probably less and less. So that's just a really cool gameplay mechanic. Now here we see Link fighting one of the constructs on a minecart, and I think it's in this same underground area. I think it's the same underground area we saw earlier. And even in the back of this fight scene, we even see an area that that a lot of us speculated to be underground in the official trailer too. We saw an area that was looked like to be underground. I think that's the same area that we saw in official trailer too, that we all thought was underground. Um, but yeah, now we see Link with this like fused battle station, and he's taking down this like Stone Talus Bokoblin camp here. So he's looks. I just think the creativity just really, pushes it to the limit here. It's really just awesome how Nintendo's done that with like crafting and stuff. It's amazing. Now here we see more fusing. We see Link who has fused a ruby to his arrow, and now he's using a ruby arrow. Sorry, a ruby arrow, and this is gonna either be like a fire arrow or a bomb arrow. One because you can see the spark right there. It's either fire or bomb arrow. But also we know that ruby it makes heat because when we make the earrings in Breath of the Wild, with the ruby, it makes cold resistance, which means that it is warm. So that means that it's going to create fire arrows or bomb arrows. So that's how we know. This is in like the Lanayru wetland area. I think that's what I'm noticing there. But okay, the next scene, Link is shooting this thing, and it just shoots a bunch of like green lasers. These Bokoblins just absolutely destroying them. I don't know if like Link put it there or something, and I was shooting it, or it was already there. Nintendo puts it there for you to shoot. We'll see when it comes out. It's coming very soon, so we'll see. And now we see Link and Tulin once again. It looks like it's probably the same quest that they're on because they're in this blizzardy area, and we see them. It looks like they're gonna fight like a boss or a mini boss possibly over here. Okay, and now we're gonna see a big explosion of malice, and this is gonna go to Zelda. And now remember that golden glow in her pocket or her pouch. Yes, that golden glow when she was falling, we see her holding this like golden jewel or something. This thing, I think, is the same thing that was in her pouch or her pocket. That was the same. I think that was the same thing, and this thing could have potentially saved her life right here because she seems to be holding it in a very like gentle way. So I think that could have saved her life. I think that could have been the thing that did it and like could have saved her life. I think that definitely could have been the thing. So, and we're gonna see more of the power of this item a little bit later in the trailer. We're almost done with the trailer anyway, so it'll be very soon that we'll see the full power of this. But now we're gonna see. It's gonna go over to Ganondorf now, and we're just gonna see a bunch of malice just erupt from his chest, and you can't even see his face. It's just a ton of malice coming out of his chest. It goes up into the air, and just malice just comes. Balls of malice just come, and we just see enemies getting up, probably from a blood moon. Looks like over here, or possibly from that same explosion. Now here we have actually already seen this scene, but this time it's going to be in a little bit more detail. So we're going to see the malice latch to Link's arm, which we've seen in like a few trailers ago. But we're gonna get a little more detail. We're gonna see it go onto his arm, but we're also gonna see it going onto the Master Sword. Probably the full cutscene, or maybe almost the full cutscene. That scene, just the malice latching onto the Master Sword. We have not seen that yet, and that now you really understand now why the Master Sword is so destroyed and how the Master Sword got so destroyed from that. Like you can just see. like you can understand how badly it got damaged. Now here we get Ganondorf finally returning to the series. And it's not Calamity Ganon or whatever Ganon. It's Ganondorf, and it's the intelligent Ganondorf, not the mindless beast. And he's coming back. He has more anger than ever. He hates Link and Zelda. He hates them so much, and they've just spoiled his plans over centuries and centuries. He is not going to let that stop him. Now he's ready to do anything it takes. But yeah, now after this exciting scene, we see a new enemy. Looks like on one of the Sky Islands attacking Link. And then we see Link and Tulin once again on this quest in the Blizzard area. Looks like they're maybe going to fight that same monster we saw them fighting earlier. It's unclear, probably is. And now here we see this person has the same like golden jewel item, or maybe it's another one, like maybe it's a second golden jewel or something. But it's the same, pretty much the same one that Zelda has, and she has it on her like on her necklace or something. And with the power of that jewel, she's shooting this giant golden beam of light, just shooting it and destroying a ton of Moldugas in her path. You're gonna see that she just destroys a ton of like Moldugas with this golden light. Look at that. Look at all those Moldugas just completely just getting one shotted by that. Now here we get to see Riju using this like lightning attack, like Urbosa's Furies or something like that. Um, and then we see Link with another new weapon, like another new like Zonai weapon or something. And he's building an army. He has he looks like he's building an army. They seem to be standing together like a team. He has some Hylians. He has a Goron and a Gerudo soldier. Looks like. And then we see Link and Sidon fighting together. So we see like these other champions. Then we've seen Riju. We've seen Tulin. We see Sidon. And now it looks like all the champions are kind of coming together. We see Riju, Sidon, and we see a feather, which is Tulin. And I'm sure Yunobo will probably be somewhere in here eventually. I guess in the final game we'll see him. So yeah, I guess we'll see all the the champion successors coming together. It's probably gonna be like a big epic showdown. I would love like a big epic showdown for the ending. That would be really cool. It'll probably be a big epic showdown. But yeah, now we see this three-headed dragon, which we saw in official trailer too, but we get a much better look at it. And this will probably be like one of the bosses or final boss, or not final boss, mini bosses, possibly. And this is on the Bridge of Hylia. We already know it's on Bridge of Hylia. But yeah, here we see Zelda holding the Master Sword in some sort of like with some purpose, possibly putting it away back in the pedestal forever, or maybe using it for something else. It's unclear. Um, but okay, and then there's one more scene after that with some audio, which I will play.
Link! Link! You must find me. Find me.
Alright, and Zelda's just saying, Link, you must find me, and then Nintendo just says, don't worry, we didn't delay the game. It's still coming out on May 12th, 2023. And that's that. That is the final trailer for Tears of the Kingdom before the game releases. So I'm really excited for this game coming out. I hope you guys are too. So yeah, so please press like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.